Hello New World! Today we're going to dive into the new Burnanator weapon and the best build for barbecuing in PvP. Before we get into the details, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been supporting the channel with a like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Now let's start cooking. The main weapon for this build is the Burnanator artifact, and it brings a unique perk called Burnanation. This perk makes all 5 staff skills and heavy attacks deal 33% less damage, but in return they cause 15% burning for 5 seconds and stack up to 5 times. So instead of relying on the usual heavy attacks and burst damage, we'll focus on damage over time, which makes this a more strategic and sustained burn playstyle. The optimal perk to use on this artifact is Disdained Infliction, as it boosts your dot damage even further. For your secondary weapon, we'll be using the Ice Gauntlet. This will be your defensive tool, mainly used for healing and cleansing. The key perk you'll want here is Healing Tomb, which provides solid heals to keep you sustained in PvP fights, especially after the heal regen potion nerf. You can use any Ice Gauntlet with this perk, but personally I'm using this Ice Gauntlet that comes with Vicious and Alacritus Punishment, which you can grab from the PvP reward track. This combo boosts your survivability and adds a nice offensive edge when needed. Now let's talk about gear. Since your playstyle revolves around close-range combat, survivability is key. For this build, you'll want to go with medium equip for that perfect balance of defense and mobility. Your main artifact will be the Azoth Conductors, which provide a solid 15% extra elemental damage to boost your overall dot damage output. The best perk to put on them is Enchanted Ward, giving you added protection, making sure you're durable while dishing out those burns. For the rest of your gear, we'll be stacking 2 pieces of Frigid Dawn. These are a must-have due to their illegal perk combo of Enchanted Ward and Elemental Aversion, which is a game changer for PvP durability. As for the other perks on your gear, you'll want to use Accelerating Flamethrower, Hasted Vigor, and your preferred Conditioning perk. These will provide you with both damage boosts and survivability in those intense close-range combat situations. If you're looking to go best in slot, you'll need 2 rare named items that drop exclusively from the Worm Raid, if you're lucky enough to get them. The first is the Dune Tagma chest piece, which comes with the weapon perk Keen and the Freedom perk. You'll want to add Enchanted Ward to this one for added defense. For the medium boots, go with Dune Uplantula, which comes with the illegal perk combo of Enchanted Ward and Elemental Aversion, giving you more survivability and a solid elemental resistance to withstand the heat of the battle. Now let's talk about jewelry. Starting with the amulet, the main perks you'll want are your preferred type of protection and stamina recovery. These are essential for both survivability and maintaining your stamina during those intense fights. As a third perk, I personally go with Unimpeded, as it helps avoid being slowed or disabled in critical moments. However, you can also choose other great perks like Refreshing Recovery or Health, depending on your playstyle and priorities. For the ring, we'll be using the Elemental Band artifact, which will provide you with a nice empower to boost your overall damage output. The main perk you'll want here is Invigorated Punishment. However, there aren't many other options, so you can also use either Burning or Mortal Empowerment. Finally, for the earring, we'll use a combination of Nimble, Refreshing Toast, and Fortifying Toast. These perks will help boost your survivability and better overall sustain in combat. As for the attributes, you'll want to put 200 points in Constitution to ensure you have enough survivability in close-range combat. The rest should be placed into Intelligence to maximize your damage output. However, if you prefer to play a bit more on the edge or have a pocket healer supporting you, you can go with 150 Con instead. For the 5-staff skill tree, the key is to focus on the right side perks. Since you will rarely be using heavy attacks and the ultimate is not as effective for this build, we'll focus on the passives that enhance your damage over time. The main ability you'll be using is Flamethrower, which will be your primary tool for consistent damage. Combine this with Burnout for mobility and Fireball for burst damage when needed. As for the Ice Gauntlet, this will serve as your defensive weapon. We'll utilize the Ice Gauntlet skill tree to boost your survivability. The key abilities here are Ice Tomb, which provides a solid defense and healing, as well as Ice Shower and Ice Storm, both of which provide crowd control and area denial. This combination will give you the necessary tools to defend yourself while supporting your team. The best Heartrune to use for this build is the Stalwart Heartrune of Stoneform. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure not to overcook your opponents with your new build. Ich bin Ayoub.